Alright, shalom, first and foremost, we say Kalayim La Yahal Bashim Yoshai Bashim Arakak Wadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, GMS to rule and teach well. And today, I'd like to get into this video from a news site. Forgive me for my voice sounding a little hoarse. I pretty much just got up, and I'm gonna do 2 videos today. Because last night I was supposed to make a video talking about this, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit on my bed and look for a news article to go talk about, do some reading, and then somehow I slipped down and I blacked out, and when I woke up it was like kind of late, like 3-4 a.m. and I was like, oh, what the fuck happened? Why is my phone over here? Did I do the video? And I was like, oh crap, no. So I just went back to sleep, and I was like, as soon as I get up, I'm just gonna record the video and things like that. I didn't want to be up and about too late trying to record stuff while people are sleeping in the house and stuff like that. I'm cordial like that. I don't be trying to do that to people. But now I'm up, and we're just gonna get into it. So Pentagon, nationalnews.com, right? It says right there, Pentagon instructs U.S. troops stationed in Iraq to be prepared for possible Israeli-Hamas war escalation, right? Now, the Pentagon is pretty much like the HQ, the DOD, the Department of Defense, so pretty much like the headquarters of all the various military branches. And we know that the U.S., the biggest, the strongest, nation on earth, essentially the richest. Now it's starting to change, but Army is very feared, the best military, the best tech, the best of everything. Feared and respected across special forces organizations across all the earth. And that's what it is. The head's the NATO, head of, not probably the EU, but they're the biggest trading partner of the EU. So they're that woman that's parts of the scarlet-colored beast with the 10 heads, 7 heads and 10 horns. That's what America is. It's that woman, that whore, right? Online profit news organization required a copy of a demo from the U.S. Department of Defense that ordered U.S. Air Force personnel to remain on standby in case of on-ground U.S. involvement in the Israel-Hamas war, right? So, in case of, not that they're actually involved, they are flying spy drones. When you look at the link, which goes to the RT article, they are flying spy drones and stuff over the region. But like we've been talking about for all the time, Valley Joshua, Armageddon, Joel 3, Revelation 16, all that. There's more things that you can get into, but those are just the 2 that I'm thinking of off the bat. But that's what it is. It's just wars, and more wars going to come down. More things going to pop off. We're not even talking about China yet. We're just talking about the Middle East, which the Middle East is where the main stuff is going to go down. Other stuff is going to go down in the Far East, of course, but we're all focused on the Middle East because oil, natural resources, and the whole area is pretty much just a big powder keg. You have extremist, Islamic, militant militia groups all across the region. They all got their start in the Gamal Nasser era, pan-Arabism, and all that, and then that kind of splintered out into these different, some of them were like socialist militias, and other militias starting to try to get rid of their governments, because during those times, in the olden days, they still had kings and queens and stuff like that ruling over these various Arab nations, and they were super corrupt. The rich would have all the money, and the poor would pretty much just be asked out of luck. So that's why a lot of them flocked towards socialism and stuff like that. Sunny Diddy document circulated earlier this month. The Intercept Road reported that the stations stationed in Iraq since last year being forewarned to prepare to be deployed. Right. While it did not suggest the U.S. military ground involvement in the war is forthcoming, the January memo is the latest intimation of the Pentagon's preparation to support Israel in the wake of the Hamas's October 7th attack. At this assault, the wake of the U.S. military was set to put 2,000 troops on prepare to deploy orders for potential support to Israel, though from neighboring countries. It also immediately dispatched 2 aircraft carriers to the region. Right. The Department of Defense did not respond to requests to comment, but until this moment, Washington maintains support for Israel in the Gaza war. White House National Security spokesman, Council spokesman John Kirby said the support will not include boots on the ground, but also, as we said, we have significant national security interests in the region, right? So, they're preparing for the Air Force to be involved, not boots on the ground, but prepared to have, active Air Force involvement, bombing runs, and all that, which aren't really going to do anything. You know why? Because Hamas has tunnels, and, it's basically the same shit as like Vietnam, and they have like a very good tunnel system too. Like, they could smuggle people, they could smuggle drugs, they smuggle anything, man. Just up and down all across Israel, all across that whole region. They got like hundreds of them, and they, when they lose one, they just build more, and they have tunneling equipment and stuff like that, and they can do it all, man. I saw one video, it's old, but they were able to like tunnel like directly under an Israeli base. So, like, what do you think is going to happen, when they get the orders to attack? They're just going to, come out, probably throw a grenade or two, or, come out, sneak around, drop a few bombs, a couple C4, and boom, that's bye-bye. That's all that communications equipment, that's a listening post gone, so it's pretty much wanted to go into this, and pretty much, of course, America vowing vengeance. So, now that I'm thinking about it, we're kind of coming back into the like that kind of 911 spirit, or like all the presidents. I wasn't alive during 911, obviously, like I wasn't born yet, but okay, well, that's not obvious, but if I say I'm in my 20s, I guess you say, oh, you used to be born around that kind of time period, but with that whole stuff going down, with 911, there was a certain spirit going around with the presidents who all vowing vengeance, vowing destruction, that we're going to go get these guys, we're going to go beat them up, destroy them, and stuff like that. And now we're kind of getting back to that inflamed, kind of period in American history. But I don't think it's as bad right now. People that are not going for this stuff aren't, being called terrorist sympathizers and stuff like that, like they were in those days. So, little one, you brothers were edified. I just wanted to kind of go into this article. It's not terribly long and doesn't really have a whole lot of new information, but very interesting to see, Pentagon instructing, Air Force troops, be prepared to go out there and offer, operational support and, things like that. Which is obviously just going to make them hate America even more, and it's going to drive a wedge between America, NATO, and the EU allies even more, which is going to cause them to nuke them and betray them at the end. So that's pretty much it. The one you edified, and shalom.